Hi, my name is Mark Windschitl. I'm the mayor of Chaska. I'm sure that you recognize me from watching all the council meetings on Monday Night Local Access. I'm sure you're chuckling now at that point, but anyways, I'm sitting outside today, the EOC in our Chaska Fire Station. I just want to tell you a little bit. We've been working about the last 3 weeks as an EOC, and that's Emergency Operations Center. So we've been talking and planning about how do we work through this pandemic. And we've been working on basically protecting our employees right now. We need to continue our essential services of electric, sewer, water, and heaven's sakes, if you're building a house right now, permitting. We want to make sure that we can continue that process for you. So we've been working on that, about how do we protect our staff. We're looking at a lot of different things. We've got as many people as we can, essential employees that are working from their homes. We have even our phone answerings being done from outside of our buildings. So we are being able to do that. We're making sure that our employees have social distanced themselves, and our municipal services right now is still working on a plan, especially now after the full shelter in place, about how to do their shifts. They're working on splitting shifts and whatever, making sure that we don't have them all together at the same time. Our biggest concern is that we have a whole department, say the electric department is quarantined or gets sick. How do we operate our electric? So that's our goal that we've really been working on, making sure that they have the necessary PPE and actually helping them by creating a daycare for them if they've lost a daycare or don't have the ability, so that they're not home watching their kids when we can use them here at work. So we've created a lot of things to do for our staff, so I'm very proud of them. And again, I want to just a little bit of the EOC is led by our fire chief, Tim Levy, and it has a staff in there, and it's basically our HR department, our park department, our communications and administration. Myself, I sit on it, but Tim has shifted duties from the fire department over, and he is now just running this pandemic event. He's done a tremendous job about keeping us on task and moving us forward into in the weeks to come. So we're very proud of them. I'm very proud of our emergency operations staff about the things that we've accomplished in this short period of time. But I also want to reach out to the whole department, all departments, and all the employees of the city of Chaska. They've all made great recommendations on how they can do things and how to work at home and how to do all these different things. And they've been this whole event's very fluid, and they've been very flexible and fluid, and they've done a great job. So I'm proud of them, and I just want to say thanks for all their efforts. I wanted to give you that update on what we've been doing as a city, but I also want to check in and see how everybody's doing at home. This is scary and unbelievable times. This pandemic is something I never thought I would see in my lifetime. I've been in the fire service for nearly 40 years, and it's definitely not something that I've ever seen, and I certainly hope I never have to see it again. Normally I'm a kind of that person that likes to go out and have a conversation, shake your hand, and kind of guy, but in this current time about sheltering in place, I felt it important that I try to do this through this virtual chat. So I hope that this really helps, and it's a way to get information out and get it out quickly, and we're doing our best to give you the proper and the correct information as it changes constantly. But this being restricted to your home is very challenging. Heck, it's really tough on me. I don't like to be home that much, and it's really different. So I get it, I understand it, but it's very challenging. And now you have all the kids there, and you're trying to work at home. It's really tough. I mean, I'm hearing about people how their kids at home, and they're trying to do some homeschooling, and officially next week the school system kicks in their full learning, virtual or off-site learning, and it's certainly going to be interesting. I've already heard some people say how much they appreciate the teachers already after being at home with their kids and trying to do that homeschooling. I've got one of my spouse's grandchildren. She's been home now for the last 10 days, and the other day she put her backpack on and said, I want to go to school. So even the kids are getting antsy and want to go back to their normal life. And so I know that it's very challenging, but we don't want to panic, and we certainly don't want to be discouraged at this time. We're doing these things to try to reduce the numbers of people that may get this virus or become ill because of it. So, the numbers are scary, what they're saying. Anywhere from a third to half of Minnesota will get the COVID virus. And that is just hard to hear. So, but I also want to say there are many good things going on. And there's a lot of people helping one another, visiting neighbors and healthcare facilities. And you start seeing kids drawing pictures, and you're showing them on the internet. They're using chalk and drawing all kinds of comments on sidewalks and driveways. And so that's uplifting to see. And have your kids draw pictures and do things like that. Send them to the hospitals, the nursing homes. There's nothing better than to get a picture from a young child at a nursing home. Remember, most of these people in a nursing home can't see their own families anymore, so that's very important. And don't forget our police and fire departments and ambulance services. They'd love to get those pictures, and send them thank yous. We just don't tell them often enough to say thank you. So I'm pretty proud of the school district too, because they've set up daycare for essential employees, hospitals and emergency staff. So that's a good thing. They're making lunches at Clover Ridge for children in need. So those are the things that I keep saying, the good things that are happening. That we're all in together with this, and we're only about 2 weeks into this, and now we're going to go into another 3. So being restricted at home can take its toll, and then you start looking at the financial impact and the uncertainty. When does it end? When does this happen? That's the hard part. So we want to know that if that starts weighing on you too heavily, please seek help. There is help out there. Our Carver County Mental Health is there. Your private insurance has employee assistance programs that you could use if you need some help. And then don't forget your clergy. They're a great resource for this. So, and just know that you're not alone. There's many people feeling that same thing. This is very, very challenging. It's just tough times right now. We need to help one another, like I mentioned earlier. And calling on your neighbors, especially if you've got to go to the grocery store for something, maybe call your neighbors, and maybe you can get stuff for 4 people instead of 4 people having to go out and having that exposure. So work together. Work on your mental health. That's so important right now. Go out for walks. Go alone if you want. But go with your family. That's fun too. Greet your neighbors. With the temperatures warming, more and more people are out, and you can be out on the street talking to your neighbors and still keep that social distance. Also, if you get tired of your own cooking, let's not forget to support our local businesses. And so go out, make it a fun night. Bring the kids with. Order some takeout food. Sit in the car, eat in the car like the old days that you did at the drive-in restaurants and stuff. But remember, these businesses were the people that supported your fundraisers. So we really need, in this time for sure, to get out there and help. There's people out there on the social media putting restaurants out with the menus and all our contact information, hours of operation. So it's a great thing out there that people are doing. So check those things out. And thanks for the people that are doing that. It's really important for our businesses. We also need to make sure that we keep that social distancing. Don't get together. This is that repetitive stuff, but it's so important. Cover your cough. If you're not feeling well, stay at home without a doubt. And if you think you need to see the doctor, call your clinic first. Most clinics right now are probably going to tell you to stay at home, monitor your symptoms, and obviously if it gets worse, then they'll give you directions. But follow what your clinic says. Just don't show up there. Call them ahead of time, explain to what's going on, and they'll give you directions what they want to do. And lastly, just that what we've been talking about, wash your hands as often as possible. It's so important right now. And please remind your children, if they're out in the playgrounds or out in gathering places, not to gather so many people. Remember, we got to stay under 10 and keep our social distancing. If you go to a playground that's full of people, maybe go at a different time. Wait instead of going there so you can keep that social distancing. And I do just want to say one reminder, the city of Chaska is not sanitizing any of the parks. and the playground equipment. So make sure if you want to use it, if you want to do something, if you feel, sanitize yourself, but the city is not doing that. I want to be very clear on that. Lastly, I want to take a moment and thank all the emergency services workers, police, fire, paramedics, dispatch, nurses, doctors, all the techs, and all the people that work in the labs for everything you do. We all worry about getting this virus, but you guys are dealing with it day in and day out on the front lines. Most of you all have families and have the same worries as we do about bringing it into our home. And I'm not sure a thank you is quite enough. So I'd love to send you all a big virtual hug. You are unbelievable, awesome heroes. Thank you. Huge thanks to those working in grocery stores and other places that we need to get our essentials like medicine and food and toilet paper. I still can't figure that toilet paper thing out, but it's important that we have that. But thank you to all those folks. And what would we do without our truckers that are bringing all those supplies in? So thank you to them. You guys be safe on the road. Appreciate what you're doing. And I just want to say, rest assured that we are all in together. When we get over this, we're going to be stronger and better individuals. I want to say thank you for taking the time to listen to this. I appreciate it. I'll be back in front of the camera in the near future and give you more updates. Be well and be safe. Thanks again.